everyone, this is just going to be a really quick and easy tutorial on making bookmarks for your traveler's notebooks. First thing you're going to need is a wide variety of beads. I like to buy them on a strand that has multiple types of beads on it. Usually find them at Michael's, Hobby Lobby, Joann's, AC Moore. Actually, AC Moore I've found the best selection of them. I also like to use round leather cord. This is 1 millimeter thick. I've got it in brown and I have it in black. These I found at Hobby Lobby. I like them on a spool because then they're not creased. They don't have any folds in it like what you would have if it was wrapped around a piece of card. One of the easiest ways to figure out what length you need, oops, sorry, I just bumped the camera, is to either measure a bookmark that you already have or take the cord, loop it around however many inserts you want, and then pull it out the end. I like to have my beads probably knotted about here so that if my notebook is sitting or standing upright, the actual bookmark will sit out flat. It won't get stuck underneath the notebook. So I'm going to wrap this around, say, 2 inserts, pull it out. You can use this with a measuring tape too, but this is just one less thing that you need to have. And I want probably almost a hand's width extra leather because you're going to need space to string them as well as to tie knots. Just cut the end. And then the first one that I'll do is I will choose some beads. Make sure that when you are buying the beads that they have a big enough hole that you can actually get this leather through. Sometimes you'll come across some of the smaller beads and you will have a really hard time getting them on. But what I'll do is I'll do one side first. Just tie a regular old knot in here. Make sure it's good and snug. And I'm going to trim this off when I'm finished. Have the beads all the way down towards the bottom, or how you want it to lay. Like if I tie this tight, then this is not going to lay flat. So I'm going to let it have just a little bit of space. So I want my knot right about there. Now you can use like the end of a paper clip to guide where that knot's going to be. Or I actually have this tool here, so I'm just going to hold this. And when I pull it snug with this holding where I want the knot, it'll keep the knot from being too high or in the place that I don't want it. Okay, and once that's snug, I make sure that I'm happy with where that is placed. Then I'm going to loop it back around my 2 inserts. I'm going to pull this out to about where I want it. Say about there, that way it'll go underneath the spine. And then I'm going to tie my other knot right here. This way now I know that the bookmark is the length that I want it. And then I'm going to go ahead and untangle it from my pages. And this is probably a little bit too much, but on this spool it came with 25 yards. This will make a lot of bookmarks. I'm going to just figure out which beads I want. I found these like rhinestone ones. I think I found these at Michael's. Then I make sure that I like it. And now I'm going to tie a knot at this end. So as you can see, it's really simple. It's probably the hardest part is going to be finding the beads that you like and making sure that they're actually going to fit on the cord. You can use cord that is not leather, but one thing I do find is that it knots up easier when when you get a mess of them together. So this cord seems to have the least amount of issues with getting tangled up. It still can though, so I typically wrap them up and then I put them in one of these clear bags just so that, you know, for storage. It keeps them from getting too tangled. Now I'm just going to lay this over my insert. I'm going to trim off the excess. I have a lot of bookmarks in this one at the moment. And just pull it so that they're both, and now you see they'll dangle appropriately. And you can adjust, you can choose, you know, as you make them, how much you want to hang out the bottom, whether you want just a little or you don't want much at all. It's all going to be personal preference, which is why I recommend that you measure it around your insert rather than going with a predetermined length every time. Let's see, I think, now here's a strand of beads. As you can see, this one has the different rhinestones. They're actually, I think they're just check glass, and it's got some, you know, gold tone beads. So when they come in a strand like this, sometimes it does the work for you. It shows you what beads you might like to have together, and it gives you a color scheme. I usually buy a bunch of these, cut them apart, and then I put them in a divided case. Like this. And then that way, as I put them in here, I can have whatever colors I want together. So I hope that gave you a basic understanding about how to make a bookmark. Feel free to tag me with any questions, or if I didn't answer something, I can go back and answer it again for you. Thank you.